QSC, we've got Dale Sandberg presenting. He's the regional sales manager over at QSC. This is going to be, they always give us a terrific show with tons of great demonstration capabilities over in their studio. We just admitted their boardroom, so I can't wait to see what they have in store. Thank you so much again to Neat and Starin, and let's go ahead and take it away, QSC.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm Dale Sandberg, and I am going to, that's the boardroom, and we'll get to them in a minute. But what we'll first do is I'm going to push my presentation, and you should be presenting. So we should see this in just a second. PowerPoint Live. Okay, there we go. So yeah, thank you for the time today. We're really looking forward to going through some of this information, and we really I'm kind of excited to talk about the sort of technology segment video, which is something that we've been getting into more and more and are excited about. Just a little bit of an overview of what we'll be talking about today, just some introductions to the team, and we'll talk about the areas where we work, talk about how this segment is growing for us, and then the part that I generally get the most excited about is the product updates. And so we'll talk about these different elements, and then a little bit on training. We'll have a live demo of some of the technologies, and then we can move from there. So my name's Dale Sandberg, as I mentioned. I am in the Northwest. I covered the Northwest, which is roughly 40% of the United States. And in my territory, we use the farm. The farm is our rep firm, and they do a fantastic job for us. I also have an application engineer, Jim Barry, who's traveling today. But so between myself, the people from the farm, and Jim Barry, we can cover questions. We can work with you on designs and orders. In the Southwest, we have Lance Martin, who's sitting in our collab boardroom, I believe. Doug Schouten, yeah. So I don't know if you can see him there, but Doug Schouten is also in the territory. And we have Kyle Jackman, who's in Arizona. And then Christian Cook, who was really helpful today in helping to set up the demo, and we'll see a little bit more from Christian Cook, or Cookie as we like to call him. So this business and growth, QSys has been growing immensely. We had roughly 40% year-over-year growth this last year, and the segments that truly have been growing have been networked audio and video. Control is another large growth segment for us as well. So really excited about these different product categories, and excited to kind of help LightWerks and their customers develop these systems and offer these kinds of tools. For those who are not aware of what QSys is or does, QSys is a platform. It's an operating system, and we have our own native products. We work with partners. We have this open architecture technology. And rather than me talk about this in depth, I'm going to jump into a video from some of our trainers. If some of you have taken QSys training before, you'll recognize Patrick and Nate. Hopefully everybody can hear that. Okay, hopefully everybody was able to hear that. Yeah, it looks like we got some claps, so it's always exciting to get Patrick and Nate involved. They do have just a kind of a plug on QSys training. So they are actually professional comedians who are on our team and do some of the online training. And I do recommend everybody, if you're interested, take those online training classes. Okay, jumping into some of the technology now. First, I'm going to talk a little bit about our cameras. With QSys, you can create these what we call high value spaces, larger rooms where you may need multiple cameras. And so we have 3 different cameras in the family. The NC, NC stands for network camera. I know, original names. The NC 12 by 80, the NC 110, and the NC 20 by 60. Each of these cameras offers pan, tilt, zoom, although the 12 by 80 and the 20 by 60 have obviously stepper motors and provide mechanical and optical zoom, whereas the NC 110 uses what they call electronic pan, tilt, zoom. And so it takes the 4K image and then it will pan and tilt within and zoom within that image. Yeah, you can see the NC 1280, 12 by optical zoom, 80 degrees horizontal field of view. The 20 by 60, 20 times optical zoom, 60 degrees horizontal view. Then the NC 110 is at 110 degrees horizontal field of view. Each of them has a 4K image sensor, and and then the 2 larger cameras have an HDMI and SDI output as well. Each camera comes with mounting hardware, so it's really easy to set up, easy to use, and easy to set up. Now, just kind of illustrate the difference between those. I have in my office a 12 by 80. I also have an NC 110, and you can see with zero magnification, I know it's a cheesy photo, but zero magnification on both of those, and how much wider the NC 110 is. So utilizing these cameras, we can then help kind of build a system that can be used for Teams, Zoom, et cetera, et cetera. Now, another part of our technology family is the video encoders and decoders. QSys has 2 different video encoders and decoders, and these devices are really designed to support multiple location encoding and decoding. I'll jump into the NV21 first. This is our newest product. We just began shipping a couple months ago, and starting on the right-hand side, the HDMI out can always be used. So whether I'm receiving video content from the network connection, or I'm receiving video content from the HDMI or the USB-C input, that HDMI out can be used for confidence monitoring in the case of receiving video from HDMI in, as an example, or of course, if I'm streaming in via PoE or via the network port, then that HDMI output will be enabled, and you can send the video to the TV or projector or whatever. The HDMI in, obviously, that's an input. It will support up to 4K 6444, as will the USB-C video input, and that video can be streamed across the network. Also, there's a RS-232 port, so I can control other devices in my system. USB-A for HID commands that can be sent across the network. Obviously, the network port. And finally, moving all the way to the left, the auxiliary power. The USB-C port is really powerful in that I can do video content streaming. I can also do AV bridging. So I can have this as a BYOD port underneath a table. I can also do device charging if I'm using the auxiliary power input. So that USB-C port really kind of enables an exciting feature that a lot of customers have asked for, which is the one cable connection that will do video streaming, AV bridging, as well as device charging. So a really powerful little product. We're excited about it. And like I said, it just began shipping a couple months ago. The NV32 has been around for a couple of years, but it is also a video encoder decoder and a powerful product. When I am using it as a video encoder or decoder, I can then, of course, stream that video to from the network, and you can see the network jacks there. It will support up to 4K 60 444. Now, if I am encoding multiple inputs, it will only go up to 1080p. And so the issue that and you just run out of network bandwidth actually is the problem. But it can encode and stream across the network up to 3 video sources at 1080p. It can also receive multiple video sources and send those to the 2 different HDMI outputs. It has a USB-B port for AV bridging for, as it says, web conference integration. There's, analog audio inputs and outputs, some general purpose inputs and outputs, as well as RS-232. So again, you can control other devices in the system. USB port for, as I said before, like HID integration with, keyboards, mice, whatever. Obviously the network ports, and then like the NV21, there's an external power supply jack. The NV32 and the NV21 both utilize our shift algorithm. Shift is a video compression algorithm that essentially allows you to maximize the quality of the video stream while reducing, if possible, the network bandwidth. If you're using 4K 60, that network bandwidth can be significant. A single 4K 60 feed can take up to 800 megabits, maybe even a little bit more than that. But if you're receiving a video stream, let's say it's PowerPoint like this or a spreadsheet in a business environment, that there's no reason to use 4K 60, JPEG 2000, and take up your network bandwidth. And so with the shift algorithm, running a PowerPoint or a spreadsheet can be down in the kilobit region, and so it significantly reduces the amount of video bandwidth required on the network, while still maintaining high quality and low latency. So this is an algorithm that is utilized in all of our NV products. Moving on, or actually no, continuing, talking about the NV32. The NV32 also has a capability in that it can be turned into one of our processing cores, which means that it will provide all the audio, DSP control, the complete control engine, video routing. All of those features are there with that NV32 when you turn it into or turn core mode on. And so that enables you to have a complete system, all being run on this NV32. This has been extremely popular in corporate boardroom applications as well as higher ed. We see a lot of classrooms that use the NV32 in core mode while utilizing the video streaming capability as well. And so it really makes for a complete system and makes it simple to integrate. And so you've got processing as well as video streaming on board, your audio content, and so forth. So a really powerful solution. Here's a couple of installation diagrams. This might be a corporate boardroom kind of scenario where you can see microphones on the table. You've got some speakers overhead and on the wall surrounding that TV. You've got some network cameras. And then in this case, you've got a pair of NV21s that allow you to bring your own device and plug into those units and stream that content. The NV32 in this case is being used as the processor core, and so is outputting to the TV. It's also sending audio output to the SPA amplifier. It's integrated with the installed PC, so this can be used as a Microsoft Teams room. And so it's a complete system utilizing the NV21, some network cameras, microphones, speakers, and the NV32. Really powerful scenario. And here you see something similar for a higher ed type of application or training room, where you've got, in this case, the NV32 again is the core. It's receiving video content from the professor's laptop, and streaming that to the NV21s that are being used for the projector, and maybe some other display monitors. You've got some network cameras. And so if you are doing distance learning or something like that, the core can select which camera, or you can utilize, and we'll get more into the camera technology and steering those cameras, but you can utilize automatic camera preset recall or even AI-based presenter tracking to control those cameras. So some really cool technologies. And again, the core is the primary processor in this system. This slide, and there's some automation in the slide, and it's a little bit, I think when it's shared on Teams, it gets a little bit janky, but basically what it's meant to illustrate is you've got the ceiling microphones, and based on the lobe information of the microphones, you can have different people talking, and the cameras will respond to that. So automatic camera preset recall based on the microphone lobe information. And so for larger boardroom applications, or if you have, again, sort of a training room scenario where you have a presenter at the front, but you also want to have the audience be able to speak and have the camera go to like a wide shot of the audience when somebody is speaking in the audience, this can be employed utilizing automatic camera preset recall. And we'll get to a demo of that in just a little bit. QSYS also offers AI-based presenter tracking, and here we see a couple different scenarios where there's no tracking, and then once the person gets into the right zone, there's kind of a trigger area, and then walking across and doing what needs to be done. So this is something that we also offer, and is some exciting technology, and we'll kind of demonstrate that in just a minute as well. And that presenter-based AI or AI-based presenter tracking is from a company called SeerVision that QSYS just purchased. We acquired them this past summer, and we're excited to be able to roll out this technology. Now, before we get into the demonstration, we do have some training coming up. So I'll talk about the training, and then we'll jump into the demo. So upcoming trainings, there's an online training actually tomorrow, and I can send Mario the link for that. If anybody wants to join that ACPR training, automatic camera preset recall training, there's a online training tomorrow at 7 a.m. Pacific. I know it's bright and early. But that's coming up, and I'll make sure that Mario gets the links for that. There's also some QSYS level 2 training. So this is for higher level technicians and system integrators. We've got 2 locations that are hosting that. One in the farm is our rep firm again in Northern California, and they have what they call the farmhouse in Newark, California. Oh, nice. I like the heart. Thank you. So they're offering that training, level 2 training, November 14th and 15th. That's in Newark. If you're interested, you can contact me or Lance, and we'll get you connected. We're also hosting level 2 training at our Experience Center and Training Center in Austin. That's the week after Thanksgiving, so that may or may not work. I think that's Tuesday and Wednesday, November 28th and 29th in Austin. And then later that same week, there's a Control 201. So for people who are really getting into the control capabilities of the QSYS platform, that training is November 30th and December 1st. Finally, we do have Jumpstart trainings. These are trainings that we can offer somewhat ad hoc. in that we don't need a lot of equipment to support these trainings. And so we have trainings for the salesperson, we have trainings for the technician, as well as trainings for somebody who might be going a little bit more in depth on DSP or control programming. And so these jumpstart trainings, if you're interested in those, please ask myself or Lance Martin, and we can get you set up. And they'll be hosted by probably either Cookie or Jim Barry, who's my application engineer. So finally, the last slide is talking about the Seer Vision, and at this point, we're going to hop into the demo. So I am going to stop sharing, and if we could get stop presenting. If we could get the boardroom on the main screen there. And if you guys have your microphone, please turn that on.
All right, we are live now. Hello,
Perfect.
hello. So we are going to demonstrate a little bit of ACPR first, which is automatic camera preset recall. And you can tell that it actually has changed over to me because of the coordinates of the microphone positioning. And that data goes in, and our plugin recognizes those zones for when someone is talking, and will recall a preset for that location that we put the camera into. My name is Christian Cook, known as Cookie, and next to me is Lance Martin. We're going to pass this around the table. James is sitting at the front of our table right now. And James, if you could introduce yourself.
Sure. Thank you, Cookie. So, hey, everybody. I'm James Staples. I'm the solutions manager for the technical operations team for alliances and ecosystems for QSys. It's a mouthful. So you can see it switched to me when I started talking. Just really quick, a little color commentary. We're using a Sennheiser TCC2 microphone for this, and we take the horizontal and vertical coordinate data and create what I think of as a strike zone, and then we map a camera shot to that. So when audio presence goes over a certain level for a certain amount of time, which you can variably define, it tells the camera router, i.e. the video switcher in QSys, to switch to that preordained shot. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to Tony, my colleague who works with me here in the collab. Tony, tell the folks who you are and what you do here.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Tony. As James said, I work in the collab here alongside him, handling demonstrations, installations, SQA, and all of the above. I'm going to go ahead and hand it back to Cookie.
All right. So I am actually doing ACPR. So it's coming over to me here in a moment. And as you notice, it is framing my shot. This is known as a 3/4 shot. This is Seer Vision. So not only are we using ACPR, but we're using our Seer Vision technology. So this is a server that is looking at the camera and getting the data on it. And we have several trigger zones set up here. We have a couple of use cases that we can share, and you can look at our website and see what's going on. But this trigger is a 3/4 shot. And as I exit this trigger zone, I'm going to go into the tracking zone. So as I'm walking, you can see that it's actually tracking, and it's doing an auto follow of me as I move back and forth. And this is doing a predictive auto tracking. What it's looking at is a skeletal, and I'll show you this in a little bit of actually what's going on. But it's looking at me. It's seeing that it's me, it's a person, and I am moving back and forth. It thinks ahead of where I will be. It's very much like having someone in the room moving the camera for me. James is still sitting at the front of the table. He is not moving a camera on a mount at all. So another spot that we have is a trigger zone to do a camera frame, so you can see what I'm doing. So, let's see. If I were whiteboarding here, I could talk about a little bit what's going on this piece right here. Maybe this was a PowerPoint presentation. I was going through the slides and checking different things. I can throw it to other people maybe in the audience. So this is a zoomed in section. This is a static recall. This is triggered off of me going right over here. And if I exit this trigger zone, I can make it auto follow me again. And it brings me back to this position right here where I can walk around and follow. So I'm going to go back over to the 3/4 shot, and I'm going to have our screen pull up and share what this actually looks like. So you can see the banding around me, and you can see what's looking on my frame, and it's coming up. It's just has to go through a little bit there. All right. So you can see that it's banding, created box. It's getting a reflection, but it knows that's not a person. That's the magic of this. It knows how to look ahead. It's the machine learning. It's the AI that's applied on top of it. And if I walk in front of the screen, you can see that it's going to make an infinite shot, but it's only looking at me and it's only tracking me. It's not tracking the person on the screen. And if I go over to this trigger zone, you can tell that it's triggering and it's moving in to the shot once it triggers. And then you can see that I have Dale here next to me, but he is not being tracked as well. So in a nutshell, that's how our Seer Vision server is working. We have two options for the server. We have a single channel and a dual channel, and those licenses can be applied when you need it. That's, and Dale, I'm giving
Okay, great, thank you. Well, so that covers, thanks guys from the collab, that covers the QSys video options and cameras. The fact that we can do bridging and put together these larger, more complex systems is something that's really powerful. If there's any questions or anything, we would be happy to join. Nicole.
We do have a couple of quick questions here. One of them is, can we connect this to a Shure MXA 920, or does QSys have networked ceiling mics?
We do not have network ceiling mics at this point in time. That said, we utilize, we currently have a plugin for the Sennheiser TCC2. My understanding is there's also a plugin for the Audio-Technica, I don't remember the model number, the 610 something or other. And I do believe that there's work going on to create a plugin for the Shure MXA 920.
So right now in our auto tracking, that our automatic camera preset recall, we are using the MXA 920 for right now. We have plugins for that in beta build 3.301 or something like that. And then we also have our Sennheiser TCC2, and we have the Audio-Technica. We have our microphone, the NMT1, and other new Sennheiser mic, which is escaping me. It's the TCC-M. Thank you, James.
Awesome. Thank you so much. One more question here. What happens when there are two people presenting?
So it's a great question. Yeah, when you want to go for it? Yeah, go for it. It'll go to a wider shot, but that's yeah, come on, don't be shy.
You can try it.
We haven't we haven't tried it today.
Oh, okay.
We'll show what it's supposed to do. So let's see if we can make it pop over to me. And then if I get into this section here, it should go to a wider shot. And it does. There we are. So I mean, it's one of those things where we did not test for this morning, but it's definitely something that it can handle. It will.
Awesome.
That I'm the primary person to that it picked up because I was in the position in front of. But if we were to do someone walking around and crossed across the camera, I would be the primary position on this setup. So yeah.
Hey, well, thank you so much for that, and thanks for being brave enough to go ahead and do the demo on the spot. That was terrific. Thank you so much, QSys. It is time for a giveaway. I'm going to ask you to please. I'm going to share my screen and take over here. I'm going to ask you to please pick a number between 1 and 100 again. We are giving away. Sorry, I talked over you.
Oh,
excuse me.
Yep. No, you're good.
Go ahead and pick the number. I didn't hear you.
The number is 85.
The number is 85. Okay, we are giving a $50 Amazon gift card away. Thank you so much for your generosity. Number 85 aligns with. We have William O'Donnell. Congratulations. You are the winner of our Amazon gift card. Congratulations. And